Navanath Bhakti Sar, Chapter 32. The King Trivikram with Macchindra's Soul. Macchindra and Goraksha stayed at Girnar mountain with Lord Datta for some days, and with his permission moved on to make a pilgrimage. When they reached Kashi, the King Trivikram had just died and the king's people were in grief. Goraksha said, "It seems that king was very nice man. If we vivify him, his people will be happy again." Macchindra said, "The king is in heaven now, and it's not possible that he will return." They were sitting in a temple on the outskirts of the city. While discussing, the king's funeral procession passed by. When Goraksha again took out the topic, Macchindra said, "I'll play a trick. I will leave my body and enter the king's body. You take care of my body till then." Goraksha was very happy. Macchindra entered the king's body and the corpse started moving. The people were shocked. They cancelled the funeral and took the king with a lot of respect to his palace. By then, Goraksha took help of the priest's wife and secretly kept Macchindra's body in the basement at the back side of the temple. He told the priest's wife, "This body belongs to the great sage Macchindra. It will last for 12 years. But you should not tell this to anyone. Promise me." She agreed to it. But she had come to know that Macchindra had entered the king's body. The basement was locked and Goraksha stayed in the temple. The people were thinking that the king had revived to life. All the king's life secrets were known to Macchindra, so nobody felt suspicious. Macchindra, who was in the king's body, kept worshipping Lord Shiva exactly the way the king did. So the queen Revati didn't find it suspicious. One day Macchindra went to the temple and took assurance from Goraksha if his body was safely kept. 3 months later, Goraksha went on a pilgrimage. Some time later, Revati got pregnant and delivered a baby boy when the time was due. They named him Dharmanath. One day the queen came to the temple along with her son. After worshipping the idol, she prayed to Lord Shankar, "Lord Mahadev, now my last wish is to die as a Suvasini, a term of courtesy or politeness for a woman whose husband is alive." The priest's wife was present there at the time. She knew the secret and so she laughed. The queen asked the reason for her laugh. At the same time, the king came and took away the son from the queen. The priest's wife told the actual story secretly and the queen went in a shock and fainted. There were still 7 years left for Macchindra to leave the king's body. But what after that? She will become a widow. The queen decided to destroy Macchindra's body. She made the priest's wife open the basement door and asked her servants to cut Macchindra's body into pieces and throw them in the jungle. The queen got it done from the servants secretly in her own presence. She threatened the priest's wife and also made her swear. Now the queen was sure that Macchindra will not be able to leave the king's body. Goddess Parvati was watching all this. She told Lord Shankar the entire scene. Lord Shankar asked Goddess Parvati to send the lady guards to collect and keep the pieces of Macchindra's body. The lady guards went along with Goddess Chamunda to collect the pieces and gave it to Veerabhadra on Goddess Parvati's orders. Macchindranath had earlier defeated these Matrukas and Veerabhadra too. That time, Veerabhadra thought the great sage Gorakshanath might come to Kailasha looking for Macchindranath. He kept the pieces of his body in custody of lakhs of Lord Shiva's guards. He decided even if Gorakshanath comes, he should not get those pieces. In Kashi, Macchindra continued to stay in the king's body and looked after the affairs of his kingdom for 7 years. Goraksha was in a pilgrimage. Whenever Macchindra came to the temple, he would just roam around the entire temple. On seeing the closed door of the basement, he would feel relaxed with the thought that his body was safe inside. Fruition. The recitation of this chapter will vanish the misfortune and will get a long life. Jai Jai Gurudeva.